Hi, welcome to Goldie Show. I have Kashem Sarkar over here, who's not only the CEO, founder, but owner of the company. Hello, Kashem, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
It's a great pleasure to have you here
Thank you.
and giving me your time to talk to you. First, let's start off with how did you come about creating this company? What made you come up with this idea of having your own company?
Well, I came from the business family.
Okay.
After I finished my degrees, and as you know, my family is all back home.
When you say back home, could
in
you?
Bangladesh.
Okay.
And though I came from the business family, but I did not have any experience of business, running a business. I went to college there, I straight came into this country. Then after I finished my degree, I worked for a few industries. In 92, when I got laid off, then I decided to do something on my own.
Now, when you say you get laid off, there was no work for you, or they just didn't want you?
Well, that time economy was down,
Mm-hmm.
like it happened 2008.
Okay.
And I think everybody familiar with that is 1992. There was another economic meltdown.
Okay.
And that time I was laid off from the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided to do something on my own.
In that meantime, you were married, of course.
Yeah,
Any kids?
I had 3 kids at that time.
Oh, wow. You were package full.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay, and then you decided to have your own company.
own company, yeah. But I didn't have any money. I started very small.
Mm-hmm.
I got some 55-gallon drums, got the open top,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my plating tanks.
Okay.
And I got some old chemicals from funky plating. That's I carbonated it, make it workable, and started that way.
So you started on a small scale.
A very small scale, yeah.
And when you started on your small scale, was it hard to go out in that market and talk to people and say, hey, I can do this?
It is very hard because when you started the business, you don't have any customers. But I had an opportunity to know funky plating. When I was a student, I used to work as a part-time as a lab technician for Ed Glow Lab. That is a part of funky plating.
Mm-hmm.
So through that work, I knew them. So I went to warn Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
He was very generous. And I told him, I just started the business, I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't do any business, smaller orders, call me. I will take that order, finish it up, and bring it to you.
So basically, you were doing is the leftovers from other big companies you're taking
Yeah,
over.
you can say that way.
I
But
mean-
they don't want to do it, just send it to me.
Send it to you, and that's how you started on a small scale.
Small scale, yeah.
And then slowly you expanded, I assume.
I started in a very small scale in a small town here in Monroeville,
Uh-huh.
and that was a residential area, and the plating business not allowed in that area. And my previous boss, he doesn't want me to go in the plating business because he was thinking that's going to be his competition. So he was harassing me, calling the EPA, OSHA, fire marshal. Okay.
So he was threatened by you because he thought you were a competitor to him, basically.
He thought I was going to take some of his customer away.
Wow. So how did you deal with all that,
Well, when these people are coming from the EPA and the fire department and OSHA, I was telling them my situation. Hey, I just started the business and I don't know all the rules, regulation. Let me know what I should do. So in fact, from there I was getting some free advice.
So it was kind of for help.
It was kind of for help, yeah.
We say it is a blessing in disguise because he was calling all these people
To run me out of business,
but they were helping you instead.
they're helping me, right?
It looks like, you're doing pretty good, and slowly you expanded your business and you came to Fort Wayne?
Then I had to move out of there. Of course,
Okay.
I also got a visit from the zoning department, and they said I cannot do the business there. Then I have to relocate, and I trying to get some finance from banks or small enterprise zoning, but I was not going anywhere. So it was very frustrating. Then I hired a lawyer and accountant. I give them my business plan. I stayed behind the scene, and I told them, "You guys go ahead and get me some."
Now, when you say you stayed behind the scene, the reason you did that is because you felt you were not going to get approved for the loan, or was it because you were from a different country?
I don't know. I felt that's because of my ethnicity or whatever the reason is. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
So when I hired these two individuals, within 3 months I got a loan for CDC, it's a Community Development Corporation, through the Wells Fargo Bank. They work to CDC and banks work together.
Were you surprised?
Not really.
But it made you think
Yeah.
that, okay, if I go, I'm not going to get it, but if I have put these two people, so you were the face behind these people to get the money.
Right.
Wow. So you got the money
Yeah.
and you started your business.
That's the business. Yeah.
Now, when all this was going through, how did you feel? Made it feel sad, or you felt like, okay, this is a challenge, another obstacle, or it taught you another lesson?
It's another lesson. Definitely another lesson. I never get frustrated. Any problem arise, I just see maybe there's something that I should be doing differently. Okay. That's the
So everything
That's
that
the way I
happens,
take the challenges here.
so everything that happens, you feel it's a sign for you to do something or look around it and
Do it differently.
differently.
Yeah.
When you got this business started and all, of course you had to start again from ground zero, obviously. Now all the chemicals that you have, do you buy it or you make your own chemicals?
Well, after graduation, I worked for a company. I was a formulation chemist,
Okay,
and I have a degree in chemistry from back home.
wonderful.
I did my chemical engineering from here. So there's a metal finishing book. You can get some formulation for different plating chemistry, and doing some research and everything. I make a lot of chemical on my own.
Now the formulas that you make, the chemicals you make, does it like OSHA come and check again, or is it okay?
Electroplating industry is the highly regulated by EPA in this country right now, because we are dealing with all different, nothing but the chemicals. So it's highly regulated.
Okay.
So EPA will stop by to my shop anytime without any notice.
I see. And they come and check.
They will come and check.
And it looks like you're not afraid because you're by the book, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm going by the books. I don't have to be afraid.
Now, your family back home, what do they think about you when you have, come up with your own business and all? What are their reaction, or do you, communicate back and forth?
Yeah, I communicate back. I talk to them almost every week.
Wonderful. And are they?
Yes, I came from the family business, and my family they're very happy that I'm in the business.
And they're proud.
Yeah.
And I know you've done business here, and like in Bangladesh, there are a lot of people who can't afford to go into business and things like that. And do you help sometimes back home, give them any kind of idea or feedback, or?
Bangladesh is a poor country.
Yes.
And I try my best to help them out. Like a lot of small business, they will call me, can do something for them to financially to boost their business.
That's good. So you give without expecting anything back. Now, employee-wise, how many employees do you have?
Right now I have 31 employees.
Now, all you can obviously you have different, employees, diversity completely.
Oh yeah, I have. When I hire, see, I like to see my business to grow.
Okay.
I don't care who I hire.
Mm-hmm.
Black, white, Hispanic, Bangladeshi, and non-Bengalis. I'm from Bangladesh. So it doesn't matter. Muslim, religion, Christian, it doesn't matter to me. Okay.
So you look at the person
I look at the person.
and what they can do for you and what
Right.
you can do for them, of
Right.
course. It's kind of, hand in hand.
Yeah,
It's a two-way
because
traffic.
this is my business I started, I want to grow. And if you can do the job, I'm going to hire.
There's one particular employee that you hired, and I know you have a great story about that person, which I heard he was a homeless guy.
Mm-hmm.
Could you throw or enlighten us with that?
So when I hire somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I usually check how badly he needs the job. If he's not really interested in a job, no need to hire him. He's not going to work out. Okay. One guy his name is Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
He walked into the door and he says looking for a job,
Mm-hmm.
and he's homeless and he badly needed a job.
Wow.
And I have a kind of notion that all the homeless and these people also drink, smokes, that they don't take care of themselves. I was wrong, and I asked him, "Do you smoke or drink?" And he said no. And I'm strongly opposite anybody drink or smoking. That's addicted people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate them, but I like to stay away from them.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. And he said no, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. So another guy was working for me at that time, and he knew Marcel, and he told me no, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. So, and I asked Marcel, "Do you have any experience of working?" He said, "No, I don't have any experience." Then I thought deeply that the guy is homeless, doesn't smoke, does not drink, never had experience. Give him a chance and teach him how to do, what to do. And he was very happy. He's coming to work every day since then and learn real quick and work out very well.
How long ago that is?
That's about 2 years ago.
So he's still with you?
Yeah.
And what does he think about you now,
He always come in a smiley face to me, and he always thank me for giving him the opportunity, giving him a chance.
So you gave a homeless guy the opportunity of his life.
The opportunity, but it's not opportunity of his life. But
Well, you gave him a job. He was homeless. He had nowhere to go. And you did not look at who he is or what he is.
Mm-hmm.
All he saw was, I'm going to give you a chance. You better perform.
Right.
Until today, he's with you.
Yeah.
So you have done something for him and something has worked out and he's still here. Apparently, you've done something good.
Yeah.
Then.
Now he don't have anything. Now he has a car. He even did not have his driving license.
Wow.
So through his work, I encouraged him, okay, you are in a hole, try to fill that hole and get out of that hole.
Wow.
Okay. And only way you can do it is just take one step at a time. Get some money saved up, get your driving license, get a car, and
He's here today, still working.
he's there today. He has a driving license, he has his own car, he has his own place to stay, and he's doing great.
So you're not only the boss, but you're like a mentor to him too.
I try to help him, yes.
Hi, I'm here with Marcel. that Kasem told me about you, that he hired. Could you please enlighten us with some of your backgrounds, your journey, and how you ended up here?
Yes, no problem. Well, when I met Kashem and I was introduced to record plating, I was in a bad point of my life. I am originally from Manhattan, New York,
Okay.
and I came to Fort Wayne, Indiana, in in love
In
with
love.
a woman.
Done. Love. Love always makes you do crazy stuff.
Yes, and I came all the way out here to get my feelings hurt. Yeah,
Oh.
she ran off with another man and left me in a bad position. I then was in a shelter
Uh huh.
where I had met another younger man who introduced me to Kasha.
Okay.
And the following day, we were to uh, come for an interview.
Okay.
I've been seeking work that week, was unsuccessful,
Hopeless.
scared, fearful.
At that moment in time, did you give up?
I never really gave up. Fear kicked in.
Oh,
Being far from home and alone
you were scared.
and not knowing anyone,
Oh.
yes, fear kicked in. This was the time I said, Mommy. But as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find my own way.
Okay.
We came on in here,
Mm-hmm.
and I never met a more peaceful or at peace man. Kashem sat us down.
Uh-huh.
He fed us. I never had that done on an interview.
He did not know who you were. He didn't even offer you a job, but he first fed you.
He knew that we were coming from the mission.
Okay.
He didn't know what our situation was or anything.
And he fed you.
And at that time, yes. And at that time, we sat down and ate.
Were you shocked?
I've never done that before in my life.
Wow.
It was a respect on a level I've never given.
What
You know?
ran through your mind? Like, this guy is feeding me and
It was heaven sent. It was heaven sent. After the struggle of not finding employment. And then this man opens his arms to us.
mm-hmm.
It had to come from a higher source, you
Wow.
know. And I today look back at it.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate it so much because that moment has changed my life.
When you came in his office and you asked for a job, he didn't ask you your background or nothing?
What he saw was a man tore down,
Oh.
father-like.
Mm-hmm.
He put me under his wing.
Wow.
I took it as a different opportunity.
Okay.
This now isn't just a job. That now I am a part of something. So I no longer looked at the situation as just a job. It became my life. I am very skilled at what I do. I had no trade.
You didn't know anything.
I had no trade. I knew nothing about buffing, polishing, plating. I had nothing, no experience.
And he trained you.
He trained me. I am forever with knowledge. So I can always feed myself. He also taught me how the difference in between grass and weeds and how to grow fruit from plants, and it's best to plant and grow your own than to buy already. You know, he taught me
So he was not only a boss, but he was like a mentor to you, a father figure. I
very
mean,
much
name it
so.
all, father, brother, everything packaged for you,
I didn't have any place. I was staying in a mission.
and give you a place to stay.
He definitely gave me a nice big home. Big home.
Were you shocked, surprised?
I never seen this before.
Did you pinch yourself to see if it is real or
I called
you're
my mom.
dreaming?
I called my mom
Did you?
in the office
And what she said?
at the time after we ate,
Uh-huh.
and I said, "Mom, I'm okay. I'm safe." From that point on,
Hmm.
my mother somewhat let go, cut the umbilical cord. You know, Kashem have been a father to me.
A great inspiration.
Great.
You think the bosses out there of different companies should take an example from him, learn from this?
I truly believe if the bosses out there get in touch with their employees,
Mm-hmm.
not only will they get product done out more,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be a lot more pride in what they do.
The employees take pride
Yes, it would. I take pride in
in
what I
what you
do,
do.
and every piece that I put out will be better than the next.
So you think all the bosses out should get involved in the employees' life
I totally
and
believe.
teach them, mentor,
Yes,
and help them?
I
Kind of give
totally.
a helping hand, kind of a thing. Not helping in that manner, but just lifting their spirits up, training them, giving them the positiveness
Should be in the
in that sense.
manual.
Do you remember a young girl in your life? How many years ago? Do you know who she is?
Well, 2.5 years ago, I've met you.
Oh, it was me, of course.
You gave me great rules. Rules to keep me from danger,
Mhm.
and it works. It works.
It did work.
And there's no excuse in it. If you practice it, it
Mhm.
will work. And I am successful.
You still remember me 2.5 years ago.
That was a moment in my life that I cannot forget those people who helped change my life. And I appreciate you
I am glad I could have some kind of an impact in your life.
very.
I know I was straight.
Get
I
straight.
was a little harsh,
Great.
but I'm glad that you are here today, and I am I'm humble. I'm being honest with you. And you have come a long way from what I told you long 2.5 years ago. You took that and you took off with it and kept it in the back of your mind.
Oh,
Now you telling me that Kasem has done this all over again with another gentleman?
he sure has. He sure has. Jeremy Room.
Journey Room. Can you tell me something about that?
Well, the same woman that started all of this, he was seeing, because he's younger than I, he was seeing her daughter. And the daughter did the same thing
Mm-hmm.
and pushed him into the street.
Oh, wow.
I took it on myself
Okay.
because I know what happened to me
Okay.
and how it felt.
Yes.
Not only is he a good worker here at Record Plater, but he has my spare room.
Wonderful. So what happened to you 3 years ago? You took it upon yourself to help another person who was in the
That's
same
right.
situation as you.
Sure did.
You're doing a great job.
Kashem he said to me, it's only right to help others. And since then, that has been my goal.
And Qasim has repeated the history again.
Yes, he didn't stop with me.
He
This
helped
is
another
who
guy.
he is.
What is your message out to people who are homeless or don't have a job or, they feel like everything is going to end? What is your message out there?
Today starts the rest of your life. It's not over. Thank you. Keep on going. Keep on pushing. It's not over.
It's not over.
You can do
You can
what
do.
you set out to do. Don't quit.
Don't give up.
Never, never give up. Never.
What is your outlook, or what would you like to say
Yes.
to the audience out there about your boss? Or how do you feel about him today?
Today.
Would you say the same thing if he was here? I know that.
Right, right.
But I want the audience to know how you feel about this and your boss.
I think my boss and I, if relationships were built like ours, I believe we will have a way more productive society.
Okay.
And I also believe the workplace will be more family oriented.
Wonderful. You said it beautifully. You are a blessing to the society because, from your being laid off, creating a business, creating jobs, giving people opportunity, not looking, what they are or who they are. And the bosses who want to hire people, what is your message to them? What do you tell them?
And to those who are hiring people, please put yourself in that person's situation. If you are come to looking for a job, what you expect from the people? Put other people in his situation. Put yourself in the other people's situation. Try to be humble, honest with each other. That's the most important thing.
Thank you, Kashem. It was a great honor and pleasure to have you today.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you, everybody. Remember, everyday people are worth more than gold. Khuda Hafiz.